Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. Welcome to Sharp Ends. I'm going to do a designer spotlight on Ray Laconico. This is my complete Ray Laconico collection. It's by no means all of the knives that he makes, but it's a good sampling of what he does and what he does well. Um, First off, I think that Ray is really known for small flippers, things like the mini Kiso, Caviso. Um, this is a $65 knife, and it is in 14C28N, I believe. Yeah, it is, which is a great stainless budget steel. The fit and finish on this is really good, and all of his knives have a very similar aesthetic in that they're usually very simple. When they do have a lanyard hole, they have one hole back here, and the clips are traditionally milled. Very nicely done. And even on this $65 knife, we got a milled clip on it. This is a liner lock, and the action is impeccable. And most of uh, his little flippers run on bearings, and they run really well on bearings. The very first Ray Laconico knife that I ever got was actually a Yorkie made by Kaiser, and it kind of got me into them. I gave that knife away to a friend of mine, but still a very cool knife, and I still think it's in production as well. But this mini Caviso is also an incredible knife. Um, Ray has a company named Monterey Bay Knives, which he runs with Sanford Owen, who I believe is the dealer, and he's the designer. Um, and so they have, he does a lot of collaborations with other companies, which we'll get into in a minute, like this mini Caviso, but he also does his own stuff as well. I could not find out who his OEM is for the stuff he has made in China, but whoever they are, they're incredible. I would guess it's someone like Bestech, but I don't know that for sure. If you know, please let me know because I'm really curious about that. Um, so another budget knife, well, it was a budget knife. The budget knife version of the Echo EKKO is about 50 bucks from CJRB. Very cool knife of his. Another way to get into his designs. Um, and he also came up, or CGRB made a premium version of this, which I recently did. Very cool front flipper and forward finger flicker with a button lock. Very good action again. Also runs on bearings. Very nice. And of course, you've got the standard Ray Laconico, and then they did this great engraving here. This machining is incredible. In general, his fit and finish is over the top. Really nice. He has a standard, like, he has a Easy E, and then this is the slayback, but it has this dimple in the center, and the Yorkie had this too. This dimple is something that sometimes will clue you off immediately that this is a Ray knife. Again, impeccable. This is MBK, Monterey Bay Knives. Like, they make this with their OEM, and the slayback is really cool. Another good feature about this is that he uses ZDP 189 a lot on his MBK knives. ZDP 189 is a great high hardness steel, like 67, and you can see a line right here. It's sheathed as well, so the inner core is very hard and the outer is sheathed in a stainless steel, which gives us a combination of extreme hardness, very sharp, and practically speaking, mostly stainless. I've never had a problem with any kind of stains on any of these knives. But yeah, again, very minimal aesthetic. His lines, he's very good at this, okay? This is one thing that I love about Ray. This line of the slayback comes up here on the scale and then continues out here and then comes back down. His lines are always very clean aesthetically, and that's one of the things that I absolutely love about his designs. A lot of times, he's also got, let's see if I can get focused in here. He's got his name on the spine. So a lot of his knives, you will see that his name is on the spine. He also tends to not advertise or billboard the steel that the things are made out of. You would not know this is ZDP 189 unless you saw that and knew what was going on. He does usually mark his steel somewhere. This one doesn't have a good example of that, but I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about. And then let's talk about the old guard real fast. So this is a great example of MBK knife, ZDP 189. This one's laser engraved, and it would cost more than your standard guy, right? The titanium scales. He also has on site right now a $65 version of this in 14C28N. Another great way of getting a knife that's not only awesome and got great action, but another cool thing about this is that it's a full-size knife. Like this mini Caviso, you can see how much bigger it is, right? It's just a full-size knife, and it's nice to have full-size knives. Uh, I liked having a full-size knife, and I like having a smaller knife too. And Ray constantly is doing things like that. Again, this line here coming down is just a really nice, aesthetically speaking, nice line. And the grip on it is great. All of his liners locks have really good access, and this is a really good example of that. You know, you just have one cut out little scallop here in the show scale side that gives you perfect access to a very nice area, like chamfered down for the liner. Very cool. His studs are also usually these pillar type studs, which I absolutely like. I like these a lot. Very easy to use and manipulate. Another collaboration he did recently is the Easy E, and this is with Alliance Designs. Very cool, and it's got a Tonto shape. He doesn't do many Tontos, and some people don't like Tontos. This is also an integral from Alliance. Very cool. He has several different versions of this with Alliance. He has one with speed holes. He has one with Zerka tie, I think, inlay. This is the Micarta inlay version of it. Very cool. I really appreciate the way that this knife is ground, and that probably has to do more with Alliance than with Ray, but he designed it. And it's a hollow grind up here. And as far as Tontos go, I think it's a thing of beauty. And again, very nice, easy flipper action. Very cool. If you don't know, integrals are very hard to make because they're made out of one slab of titanium, and you got to mill out everything inside of there. So that's just a very big risk for a maker to make, is that, you know, if you mess up anything with this, then it's practically impossible to fix. I also really like the line of how the spine is done on this knife, how it comes in and has this diamond shape at the end. I think that's really good. Provides extra strength down here at the tip for the Tonto. Just very cool. And then I've left my two big guns for last. One of them is the old guard, Rosalinda, which I just got. It's a single thumb stud, and made by MBK and his OEM again, and ZDP 189. This is Zerk blasted titanium beads, and it gives just a little bit of texture. It's just really incredible finish on this, and the action is just, I mean, it just drops shut, so much so that it almost drops shut too much. When he does do a front flipper, like, he leaves just a little tab right here. And this one is really hard to do because it's so small, but it is totally possible to front flip this as well, which is really cool. And again, he's got his standard clip on here. It's just overall, this Rosalinda is amazing. And I really like the way that the scales and the line again, the back of the spine, very nice. Just overall, and a full size, very big knife. Very cool. And then finally, he makes some knives in-house too, like the Sea Otter and the Sea Lion. Sea Lion's bigger. This is the smaller Sea Otter, and they are hard to get. You have to, on Wednesdays, he does a lottery, and then if you get the lottery, you get to buy one. I did it for a long time, 6 months, and I finally got pulled. My name got pulled. This is actually made by him, and it's a very simple design, but he made it himself in California. So, you know, he's not, he is the OEM for this. And here, this is Magnica, and you can see he's low-keyed, put it right in here so that, you know, it's not billboarded here, and it has MBK. And he actually left his name off the spine for once, which is interesting to me. This came with a bent wire clip, and I put on one of his standard clips, which fits just fine on here. So, yeah, this Sea Lion is one of the prides of my one of my prized possessions, just because I know that he made it himself. Very sharp. Great blade geometry. In general, all of his blades are very sharp, are thin behind the edge, making them a very practical, low-key, nicely designed knife that cuts very well, which is something that you want your knife to do. A lot of designers make something that looks really impressive, but for practical purposes, don't function as a knife. this functions as a great, great knife. So I absolutely appreciate and love that. So Ray is one of those designers like Les George and others that I kind of get into, and I'm like, this is amazing, and also really affordable in general. This Caviso, like I said, is 65, and this Rosalinda, which is an incredible knife, is like $200, but it has a fit and finish of a $450 knife, and the action is incredible. So I think that if you're looking for a designer to get into that makes incredible stuff that is reasonably well priced, this is a great way to get into it. You have options which are 65, or like the Yorkie, which is also inexpensive, and then you've got other things that are a little bit more expensive that are like closer to 180, $200, but still phenomenal, runs great. And like I said, the fit and finish on it is so good that you feel like you're holding a much more expensive knife. So all around, I absolutely love Ray for all of those reasons. His fit and finish, his attention to detail, his lines and form, his functionality. It's a knife first, and it functions as a knife. His sizing, he has small, he has big. His steel choices, he has Magna Cut ZDP 189, 14C. Like, just overall great. And I can't remember. Oh, I think this is LMAX. Again, I think this is marked on the spine somewhere. No, it's not. Pretty sure this is LMAX. So, you know, he pays attention to all the details and does a phenomenal job, whether he's working with another company or doing it himself. He just does a great job. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I hope this was helpful and that you learned something today. And if you want to support the channel, you can become a member by either clicking on the support button down below for YouTube or following my link for Patreon. And as always, you get entered to win a knife every month, regardless of which option you choose, and it really helps the channel. So thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you guys next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now.